If you've been to Japan, you have walked past one of these buildings. Maybe you looked in. 500 machines, sometimes 1,000. A wall of noise you can feel in your chest. A few hundred people, most over 60, sitting completely still, staring. And you thought, is that a casino? It is. It also cannot be a casino. Gambling is illegal in Japan. Article 185 of the Criminal Code. Not restricted. Illegal. There are about 6,500 of those buildings in this country, holding more than 3 million machines. None of it is legally gambling. Both of those things are true at once. And the reason they can be is the most elegant piece of organized dishonesty I have ever been paid to take part in. I worked in one of those buildings for 3 years. 2 things in this order. 1. How a building full of illegal gambling stays open, with police officers walking in wearing plain clothes to check. 2. How those machines are actually set, which involves a building full of machines playing against themselves at 2 in the morning, while I carried the buckets. Start with the police. You never win money. That's the whole trick. You win balls. Steel balls, 11 millimeters across. You carry your box to the counter, and we trade them for a prize. Most people take cigarettes, or chocolate, or laundry detergent. But look at the bottom shelf. There's a small plastic card, and sealed inside it, a sliver of gold. As jewelry, it's worth almost nothing. Take that card and walk out. Around the corner, or into the alley behind us, there's a window with no sign on it. You put the card through. A hand puts cash back. That window is another company. Legally, nothing to do with us. It bought a second-hand item from a member of the public. A wholesaler buys it back from the window and sells it to us. Same card, same circle, all day. 3 businesses, 3 lawful transactions. On paper, nobody gambled. It only holds if nobody says it out loud, which is why they trained me. I was not allowed to say cash or exchange or point at the window. If a customer asked where to turn that card into money, the correct answer was 2 words. I don't know. And that wasn't only theater for the customers. Police officers came in out of uniform. They sat down. They played. And they asked the staff exactly that question. If you answered it, the store had a problem. So the fiction was maintained all day by everybody, including the people it was designed to fool. Now the machines. The picture people have is one shady manager after midnight with a little hammer. Here's what it actually is. The floor is divided into islands, rows of about 20 machines. Each of us owned a few. Your islands, your nails, your numbers. Inside every machine, the playing field is a grid of small brass nails, and the ball falls through them. Move one by a fraction of a millimeter, and you change how many balls come back per 1,000 yen. Nobody can see it from the front. That part is routine. Quiet, boring, constant. The real night is when new machines arrive. A new machine has no history. Nobody knows what it does yet. So you make it play itself. You set them to fire automatically. Nobody in the seat. Just the machine, launching balls into itself, hour after hour, in an empty building. One person covers about 10 machines. 10 machines firing continuously eat balls faster than you'd believe. So you walk your 10 over and over, keeping them fed. That was me. Floor leader. Late 20s, 2 in the morning, carrying buckets down a dark aisle so 10 machines could gamble against themselves. Then the data comes off, not onto paper, to a computer in the back office. An ordinary desktop PC on an ordinary desk, with somebody sitting there watching the numbers come in, and the instructions come back to us over an intercom. Open that one, adjust it, run it again. That's the loop. The machine plays itself, the office reads it, a voice in your ear tells you what to change. Again and again, until the number matches what we were told to hit, a payout rate somewhere between 80 and 90%. That's the conspiracy. It isn't gambling, it's calibration, run by a man at a desk with a headset, and nobody in that room chose the target. It came down from above, the manager, and above him, the company. We stayed until 3 in the morning to hit a figure decided in a meeting we were not in. That was the job. It isn't what I remember. What I remember is the regulars, and one sticker on a wall in the men's toilet. They queue before we open. Not a handful. A proper line, every morning. On a big promotion day, it can run to 1,000 people. And they don't just wait their turn. They draw a numbered ticket, and then they line up again, in the order the ticket gives them. Before the doors open, the order has already been decided for them. I knew the regulars. By face, by name, by which machine they liked. Weekday mornings, people old enough that you'd wonder where they were supposed to be. I liked some of them. We talked about baseball, about their grandchildren. These were the people I said I don't know to when they asked me where to turn their card into cash. And the machine each of them was walking toward had been calibrated in the dark, weeks earlier, while I carried the balls. Now go into the men's toilet in one of these buildings and look at the wall above the urinal. At eye level, exactly where you can't avoid it, there's a sticker with a phone number on it. A helpline for gambling addiction. The industry put it there. And somebody chose that height. So the building knows. The company knows. The man standing there reading it knows. And everybody walks back out onto the floor. None of it is hidden. That building is the loudest thing on the street. The exchange window is a 30-second walk. The helpline is above the urinal. The whole structure holds, because nobody says the word. So the next time you're in Japan, and you walk past one of these buildings, you'll know what's behind the glass. And if you do go in, look above the urinal. I should tell you who's been talking. My name is Ken. That's not my real name, and you'll never see my face, because these days I sell software to Japan's auto parts factories, and my customers trust me. Before this, I worked more places than I can count. A Pachinko floor. A convenience store I owned. Home construction sales. Japan's nightlife business. Not an impressive career. A lot of ordinary ones. And I paid attention. I make these videos so you can see what business in Japan actually looks like, not the textbook version. If that sounds interesting, subscribe. And if you've got questions about how Japan really works, ask in the comments. I read them on the train between customer visits. Next time, the money. This industry publishes a number about itself. 16 trillion yen a year. It also publishes a second number. The same year, about the same thing. The two are not close. And the distance between them is the job I did at 2 in the morning. See you in the next one.